Hey everyone, and welcome to this live patch analysis for Dota 2's big patch 7.30. This is being recorded live on Twitch TV in front of an absolutely wonderful audience whose chat you can see on the screen. Behave yourself, guys. Behave yourself. Don't get me demonetized. Anyways, but long story short, we're gonna do this. Like, the patch just dropped, like literally 35 seconds ago. Chat went nuts. So we're gonna just read through it live. Haven't read through any of it yet, so we're gonna get like legit first impressions. There's gonna be a lot of rambling here. It's not gonna be as long as Purges, don't worry, I don't do math. But we're gonna it'll actually probably be like a 20% of how long Purge is gonna talk for. But anyways, let's talk about this. Okay, first of all, general changes. Again, I'm reading all this for the first time. You're experiencing this with me. So captain's mode changes. I don't really care so much about that. Like, let's focus mostly on like the pub game, right? The pro scene stuff is fine. So multiple critical strike procs are now rolled into the strongest weakness and will stop rolling once a proc occurs. Interesting. All right, I'm going to, that's actually pretty heavy language. That sounds like a DPS decrease. So this results in the same DPS, but is likely to have multiple crits in a row or multiple attacks without a crit. Interesting. So it is the same DPS, it says. But again, with someone like Phantom Assassin, that seems like a nerf. Anyways, let's move on. I don't know, I gotta think about that one longer. Cooldown percentage reduction, no longer stacks. Makes sense. So if you have like a talent that provides cooldown reduction and items that provide cooldown reductions, you can't stack them. Okay, that makes sense. Increased HP regeneration of all the heroes with 0 HP. So interesting. So all heroes with 0 HP regen naturally get increased regeneration. That's actually pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. Hugs for everyone, McQueen. That's right. Hugs for everybody. That's actually pretty big because HP regeneration is one of the most important things in the laning stage, right? And that doesn't sound significant, but having some extra regeneration definitely helps sustain you in the lane. And there's some heroes where, I mean, I'd have to really check and see who starts with 0 regeneration. But like heroes that have high regeneration, like Ogre, Ricky, like they're able to lane very effectively because of it. Water Rune healing reduced, this had to happen. So what this is, this Water Rune healing reduction, it's basically being halved. Remember, you still have your bottle, which you can utilize. But I think the major thing that they're going after here is mid right now, well, as of the current previous patch, mid was like super like snowbally, right? Your mid hero had a lot of emphasis on the control of the game. So that's always been the case. But by slightly making kind of those water runes a little less kind of resourceful, it maybe makes mid less snowbally and perhaps gives them a little more risk. Second Roshan no longer drops cheese. That's huge. I know a lot of people in the pro scene, they complained that Roshan, the second Roshan specifically, was too much of a net worth swing because not only the first Roshan was Aegis, which is bad enough if you're on like the receiving end, but you'd also on the second you're getting Aegis, cheese, and the shard. So once you get that, then it's a huge net worth swing. So removing the cheese kind of lowers the impact of that second Roshan. Because second Roshan was basically a free win, right? Constant nerfs to mid. Yeah, Jimmins. But guess what? Guess who doesn't crit? Pugna. Pugna's not nerfed yet. Well, maybe Pugna did get nerfed. What do I know? Hopefully Beastmaster got buffed. Oh, Beastmaster, please get buffed. Anyways, let's talk about that later. Neutral keeps now drop 5 neutral items per tier. That's huge. We have more neutral items. There's more neutral items. And I bet you they created more neutral items. So we have more neutrals and we're getting more. So they drop 5 per tier. There's more neutral items in the shop. That's pretty interesting. And that means that you're going to get like less RNG on the neutral item side. Because what would happen before is like if I'm an axe, I really want like the flame cloak. I really want like, you know, that AoE armor stuff. And sometimes it just didn't drop. If you're a support like a Shadow Shaman, you want the like the mini Aether lens. Why am I forgetting what it's called? Whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. The one that gives the mana regeneration in the range. Is it the lens? Is it just lens? Something mana lens? I don't know. Whatever. I can't remember now. Aeon Disc. Everyone hates Aeon Disc. Let's talk about it. Bonus HP reduced from 300 to 250. Okay, that's fine. That's not huge. Aeon Disc cooldown increased by 20 seconds every time it triggers. Whoa! That actually is a big deal. That's a pretty significant nerf. So that means, like, when you build Aeon Disc, which has been very, very popular, now it has, every time you use it, it kind of has that BKB effect where it becomes less and less valuable. Pretty huge. Abyssal Blade. Bash bonus damage increased from 100 to 120. Had to happen. For those who don't realize, Abyssal Blade used to be a ranged item with an active, and now it's a melee item with an active. So having the bash damage is actually pretty beneficial because there's a nerf. Being able to use it from melee range was way worse than being able to use it from a range. So anyways, Aether Lens, mana regeneration reduced. Oh, sad. That's not a big deal though. It sucks, but it's not a big deal. Because anybody that's building Aether Lens is usually an intelligence-based hero anyway, who's going to scale with intelligence, so. Arcane Blink. Increase. So I wonder if all the Blink daggers are going to get buffed a little bit, because the cost is pretty extreme. So you're getting a buff to the Arcane Blink. Arcane Boots. So more mana being... okay, this is actually really significant. Because with the boots now... so before, it used to be like this question of like, do I just be greedy and do I just build like a Ring of Basilius and not really worry about the boots? Because like Tranquil Boots were always really valuable. So if you have a Ring of Basilius and Tranquil Boots, you're kind of better off usually as a support. But now Arcane Boots are going to restore more mana. So now there's a little more value in keeping those Arcane Boots as opposed to disassembling them for Tranquils. So this is pretty neat. This is kind of like a nerf to the Aether Lens, because now you're going to be less willing to break down the Arcane Boots because you're getting a little more value out of it. I mean, it's only 25 mana, but it's 25 mana. Bottle. That's not a crazy nerf. That's not crazy. That's... you guys in chat are acting like it got destroyed. That's just like a tune down. Come on, chat. That's just a tune down. That's not too crazy. Enchanted Mango. This is actually pretty good. Give me some of that cost back, baby. They nerfed Enchanted Mango prior, so... Drum of Endurance, which I skipped for some reason. Strength and intelligence bonuses increased from 6 to 7. Okay. Scepter, reduced mana. Okay, that's kind of in line with the Aether Lens there. Falcon Blade needed a buff. Let's see what they give. So extra damage to 12 and bonus health to 200. Okay, Falcon Blade might actually be good on some heroes like Sand King. One can even make the argument that it's good on Bristle. Maybe. Is it good on Bristle? You get the mana regen. Maybe Falcon Blade's back in the meta, boys and girls. Maybe it's back in the meta. Gleipnir. Gleipnir. Bonus intelligence increased, 24. More strength and agility to 14. And projectile speed increase. Okay, so it's like, it's more usable. Cool. Helm of the Overlord, which needed a ton of reworks. This was one of the worst items in the game. This item by itself was the reason why I couldn't do anything with Beastmaster. Legit. Were Tarantula's here. Good to see you, Were Tarantula. Now requires Helm of the Dominator, Vladimir's Offering, and a 1,000 gold recipe. So significant changes, but a better build-up. Can only dominate one creep. Move speed increase. Creep damage increase. No, that's creep bonus. Creep armor. Also has Vlad's aura. So it's just a better position 3 item. Interesting. So what they did is they took the Vlad's Offering, which has a really good build-up, right? Like it's a really steady build-up. They built it into the Helm of the Overlord, which is a position 3 item, like a Lycan, Beastmaster item. You give now it's going to be a 1-slotted item that's going to have only 1 creep, but a really strong creep. That's actually pretty interesting. Is Beastmaster back? Maybe. Beastmaster, like this is Beastmaster. Beastmaster needs this. Right? Because now Beastmaster used to build Vlad's because his army would benefit from it, right? It's going to have to test it. It might not be enough. An interesting change, though. This either is not enough or it's completely broken. There's nothing in between. Hurricane Pike, Thrust Duration, and Max Attack. So Hurricane Pike got buffed, which is good. So, like, indirectly, Drow Ranger gets buffed here, right? So anything likes the Falcon Blade. Yeah, I think Falcon Blade looks like it might be decent. So Mage Slayer always sucked. So this Hurricane Pike was always decent, but the heroes that bought Hurricane Pike felt kind of weak, like Drow Ranger. So this is pretty interesting change. Sniper was another Hurricane Pike user who is... okay, listen, I know everyone hates Sniper, and especially in your lower MMR games, Sniper like drives you insane. But like in terms of actual like win percentages, Sniper actually sucks. So this is kind of a buff to Sniper. So Mage Slayer, Oblivion Staff, Cloak. So you're getting magic resistance here, attack speed, 400 gold recipe. So it is way cheaper. Way cheaper. Grants magic resistance, damage, intelligence. So it doesn't have the effect anymore. So it lost the effect of reducing magical based damage, but now gives you magic resist, damage, intelligence, attack speed, and mana regen. The intelligence kind of sucks. Like someone like a Bristleback would benefit from this. Everything except the intelligence. I wonder who Mage Slayer's for. Eidos! So you get increased intelligence, nice. More agility and strength, projectile speed increase. Pure buffs to Eidos. Celebrations around for all the Skywrath Mage players. Actually, and Underlord players too. Oh, nerfed Sanj. Status resistance from 16 to 12. It had to happen. So their status resistance was too strong. Especially in the pro games, a lot of people really complained about that. Yeah, Jimmins. Moving from 4 to 5 is huge for the Hurricane Pike. That's pretty significant, really. So if you're playing mid and you're doing like mid sniper or stuff like that, the Hurricane Pike now has significant value. So Sentry Wards now have diminished respawn, nice. Duration reduced, so now they die a little faster, okay. Recipes reworked on the Silver's Edge. Now requires a Shadow Blade, Chrysalis, and a 350 gold recipe. So much cheaper. Does it do break still? Now grants. There's no break on Silver's Edge, so break has been removed. Okay, that's one break gone. So someone like a Hoodwink now, Viper, more valuable. So Smoke of Deceit, max stock is 3. Interesting change. Basically, the reason why this happens, I'll tell you why this is occurring, okay? So if you're a support player at high MMRs, you often buy the Smoke of Deceit right at the start of the game for 50 gold, even though you're not really going to use it, so that it's ticking down already, right? So because they're so valuable in high MMR games that like people would buy it right away just so it was on cooldown so they can buy another one faster than the other team. So this makes it so that supports in higher MMR games don't have to do that. Don't worry guys, if you're in low MMR, your support's not buying a Smoke of Deceit at the start of the game because they could not care less about you or your team. Wind Waker. This, I don't think I've ever seen this item in the game. I've seen the item, obviously I know it exists. I mean, I've never seen it used or bought. Recipe reduced by 300 gold. Makes sense. Still sucks. Sorry, bro. Witchblade. Damage per tick reduced. Okay, this is an obvious nerf to like Silencer, Puck. Which I guess are the only two that even build Witchblade. Duration increased. Okay, fixed interaction. Alright, so bug fix. Alright, so neutral item changes. Faded Brooch, Rest in Peace, Iron Tree. These are all gone. Illusionist Cape is gone. Huge nerf to like Axe and other like Manta builders. Maybe Axe got nerfed, honestly. Minotaur Horn. Orb of Destruction. Ballista removed. I mean, how often do you even see the Ballista, truly? Big Pull. So now we have a new item. Oh, it's a pig pull, not big pull. A pig. Like a pig, oink, oink. I just didn't read it right. All right. If you're just joining, welcome. No Life Lucas. We are live recording tomorrow's YouTube video right now. You're watching it live. And we're going through the gameplay update. And we're just doing pure first reactions here. Having fun. So, Pig Pull. New tier 1 item. Grants 6 to all stats. Like it. Active. Pig out. Turns the owner to a pig for 4 seconds. Grants 10% move speed. What the hell is that? I love it. I love it, man.
I love it.
That is fantastic. That is what we need in Dota. We need some, like, just more just chill items. We just need something fun. Turn into a pig and run away. Tumbler's Toy. 200 mana. You can vault. So this is basically like a... This looks like it's going to be basically a Snapfire Fire Snap cookie. It's like a... Oh, is it a Fire Snap cookie? I'll have to check it. It's probably like a Snap cookie. Like you jump. It's not like a blink. But it has the blink effect of like... Oh, you took damage. Now you can't use it. But this is cool because this kind of changes... Or is it a... Wait. Vault. Or is it going to be like a push, like a Force Staff? This might make it so like Tide Hunters and Axes and Mars and others who build Blink Daggers, maybe they can delay the Blink Dagger and now they can get the Tumbler's Toy instead, right? Which is kind of interesting. Briggs Blade. Tier 2 item. 10 damage, 10 attack speed. Dark Mercy as a passive. When attacking an enemy deals 7 damage per 10% of the enemy. Oh, so this is pretty cool. So it's similar to like Huskar, where you're going to do more damage, but it's the more damage that you're going to do when they're missing health. So it helps you like finish an enemy off. Cool. Fey Grenade. 20 movement speed. And Shadow Brand, an active item. Okay, so neutral actives, a lot of fun. Throws a bomb at an enemy with a 900 range, dealing your attack damage and... So your attack damage, which that's going to scale. So that's a pretty neat thing. And applying a debuff that provides vision of the unit and 20 DPS for 7 seconds. That is actually really cool. Now it's a grenade, but it looks like it only impacts one hero. It doesn't actually, like, it hits one target. Yeah, Ballista was a huge game-changing item. Yes, Jimmins, turning you into a pig. Blasted Rig. Tier 3 item. Grants 8 armor. Has hair trigger as a passive. Next time you get attacked by a hero within 300 range, explode, dealing 300 damage to all enemies. That is pretty... So, who's going to build this? So you have the 8 armor. It's a passive. Next time you get attacked by a hero within 300 range, explode, dealing 300 damage to all enemies at 300. And 100% blind. So this is a huge axe item. You blink in, you call, you explode. No, it's not, because then they can't hit you for 2.5 seconds. Then you're not doing any calls, you're not doing the counter helix. What the hell's this item? Because now they're not going to be able to hit you. Pudge Pudge would be great with this. The 100% blind is what makes this interesting. Because Axe can't use this. Because if Axe can't get hit, he can't counter helix. Interesting item. But again, someone like Tidehunter, Mars, right, would really benefit from this. Like, you blink in, you arena, you blast the damage, you're not getting hit. This is a really interesting item. This is really interesting. This might be broken. This might get nerfed immediately. This feels like it might be too much. This is like an immediate nerf candidate, I think. Once people, like Mars, this is a huge Mars item, I think. Mars is meta now. Like, do we agree? Like, I see Pudge getting this, sure. But this is like an amazing Mars item. Oh my gosh. They're trapped in the arena. Like, it's gonna... Okay, we're playing Mars. I don't even know how to say that word. Is that aesthetic? Cape? Man, I don't know. So tier 4 item. 300 health, 10 regen. Endurance is the passive. Whenever a debuff from a player is controlled source applied to the owner, you get status resistance. Okay, so basically whenever you get hit with a debuff, you get status resistance, which reduces the debuff's effect. That 50% is pretty huge. Like, cutting any stun or anything in half is pretty massive. Does not feel great. Is that a good item? It might not be good, but status resistance is so valuable. I don't know. That's one I got to test. Might actually be really good. Status resistance is no joke. So, Witchbane, tier 4, passively causes your hero to deal extra magic damage to his target equal to 4% of its max mana on attack. So it's max mana. So you're hitting an opponent and they're taking damage based on their mana. Active, Dispel. Dispel all enemies and allies within 300 radius. Is it a strong Dispel? Cleanse. Purge. Purge. They're using the word purge. Purge all allies within... Dispel. So they mess up the words. The active, they calling it Dispel. The active is actually called Cleanse. They say purge all enemies, which would indicate that it's basically a strong Dispel. It gets rid of all effects. But Dispel can be basic or strong. So you can't, like, Dispel a stun without it being a strong Dispel. I don't know. We have to test it. Arcanist Armor. Tier 5. The Tier 5s, meh. We almost never see them. 5 armor, 20 magic resistance. Passive grants 5 armor, 20 magic, all allies. That's huge, man. That is huge. 20 magic resistance to all allies. Mega Shield. 35% damage. This is insane. It's basically a free Centaur. You get this item, you have a free Centaur at level 25 on your team. Witchbane is cool against heroes with illusions. Ah, good call, Arjun. Good call. Because theoretically, yeah, because it's doing 500 damage to all illusions. Does it even say that? What the hell's this description? The description's not even the same. I almost missed that. You're right. It's a huge thing for illusion heroes. That, you know, that kind of sucks, man. Because, like, are you really gonna play PL, then the other team gets a Witch Bane or not, and then you get deleted? That seems rough. I gotta be okay. I don't like PL like everyone else, but you're telling me a hero like CKPL, they play for 40 minutes, and then the other team gets a Witch Bane, and your hero's just GG no re? Like, your hero's just dead because they picked up a neutral item? That kind of feels a little suspect. It's only 500 damage, but that seems really rough. I think this gets nerfed. Because this basically makes illusion heroes garbage. I know Liquid Auction, like, I know everyone hates PL, but, like, this is punishing. It's a little punishing. Anyways, Chip Vest. Reduced armor. Reduced regen, sorry. So, nerf to Chip Vest. Fine. Increased health on Fairy Trinket. Cool. Lifesteal reduced from 7% to a flat 7 HP per attack. Nerf. Is it nerfed? Kind of. It basically makes it so that you replace, like, there was some farming heroes that would hold a Possessed Mask over a tier 2 item because of it. So that just makes it so it has a life expectancy. Okay, this sucks. The Enchanted Quiver. So this is a shadow nerf to Wraith King. Rip. Shovel, whatever. Okay, that's like a low-key buff. So, Flicker, cooldown increased to 5 seconds. Blinks in place of owner receive damage in the last. Okay, interesting. Spider Legs, no longer considered a boot. Very nice. Movement speed bonus reduced. Aww. Because you'd get Spider Legs and not use your boots, right? And then now, you just got to keep your boots on. Stormcrafter no longer triggers if the holder is invisible. Makes sense. Also, awesome item. This item is one of the low-key best items in the game that no one talks about. You get to Cyclone, but most importantly, that zap, that 200 damage zap and the slow, I'm telling you, it does so much damage over the course of the end game, man. It does so much damage. Fallen Sky, I've used this item a couple times. Kind of fun. No one uses this, really. Cast range reduced. Cool. We're into the nitty-gritty now. The hero changes. Did your hero get murdered? Did they? I'm gonna. That was such a moment. Like, if I was an actual good YouTuber, I'd be like, let me know in the comments. Did your hero get murdered by these patch notes? But I'm not a good YouTuber. But I just said it anyway. Anyways, okay. Let's move on. Abaddon. Abaddon, some would say. Abaddon or Abaddon? Let me know in the comments. I did it. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. All right. Strength changed from 23. Oh, nerfed. So he has less up front and he gains less. Aphotic Shield, increased range, which is really valuable. The Aphotic Shield's great because it's a fantastic save. It's a strong dispel, so like it gets through almost everything. And it's going to keep you going. It's going to keep you going. I like that. Increased cat. So like he's basically a support. Like Abaddon's basically a support with the strength reduction. Let's see his talents though. Yeah, so no more cooldown reduction, but more Aphotic Shield health, so initial tankability. You're also looking at 25 talent. Oh, so -1 Curse of Avernus attacks. So that is, the Curse of Avernus is basically the carry build, more or less. Not really, it can still be used as a support. You go in, you silence a guy, whatever. Abaddon looks like he's more of a support now. Rip. Alchemist. Our boy Alchemist. Everyone hates Alchemist. Everyone loves Raymond. Everyone hates Alchemist. Unstable Concoction. Cooldown reduced. Okay. Mana cost rescaled. Okay. Berserk Potion, which is basically his shard, improved. Talents. So now he has a increased radius for concoction, which prevents him from stunning. Himself. Nice. Nice. That's not huge. Not huge. Good enough. He can be a punishing hero when he snowballs, right? So I think they trying to keep him in check here. Nice big explosion radius there. Nice, okay. Ancient Apparition. Cold Feet increased. Cooldown. Makes sense. It was really punishing in the early levels. Ice Blast. Oh, no. Rip Ice Blast. Ice Blast, even at level 6, was just fun to I'm just gonna, like, Shaquille O'Neal Ice Blast everywhere. Anybody, do young people even know who Shaquille O'Neal is? Let me know in the comments. But, like, I have no idea. I don't, Shaquille O'Neal is like a Michael Jordan era guy. I don't know. Basketball, whatever. This is Dota. This ain't the NBA. Talents. Cold Feet break distance. I actually like this. Get rid of the HP regen talent, which pretty much no one took. And instead, increase the Cold Feet breaking distance. Ah, nice. So they did increase the cooldown, but now the break distance is significantly longer. So now you have an increased chance for not only damage per tick, but a stun. Interesting. He's after MJ? No way, Slapshot. There's no way he's after MJ. They're like the same era. Bruh, Shaq's the man. Nice, Crispy. I'm glad my NBA reference. The only reason why I brought this up is because, like, I don't know. I was watching. I was getting all like. I was watching. Oh no. I can't remember the movie called. The one with Michael Jordan and like Charles Barkley's in it, and there's Bugs Bunny. Whatever. Space Jam. I was watching Space Jam. The old one. Forget the new one. The old one. I was watching the old one. Anyways, what are we talking about? Anti-Mage. Hate Anti-Mage. Everyone hates Anti-Mage. Unless you're an Anti-Mage player, of course. Okay. Strength gain increased. He's going to have more HP. Rework to Shard. Counterspell now passively grants 900 range. Wait, hold on. Let me reread this. Counterspell now passively grants a 900 range offensive aura, reducing enemies' magic damage by 10%. And then triple the effect for enemies within 300 range. Whoa. So when he blinks in, he greatly reduces the amount of magic damage that enemies do. And when he blinks on top of you within 300 range, you're doing even less damage. Interesting. Okay. Fragment. So, blink. Fragment Scepter now has 3 charges. Okay. Okay. And talents. So his attack speed's been replaced with blink cooldown. Great, now he's going to wrap more. Armor replaced with Mana Void Stun. Makes sense. 20 talent, Mana Void Stun replaced with blink cast range. Great. Blink cooldown, blink cast range. Rat meta's back. This Anti-Mage is going to rat nonstop. This is a really significant buff. He's going to be incredibly mobile. This shard sounds really legitimate, honestly. I think Anti-Mage is back. Rip. Hate Anti-Mage. So annoying. Arc Warden. Getting a buff to his shard slow. Nice. Magnetic Field getting some love. And you're also getting a cooldown reduction because we're getting rid of all the cooldown reductions because they don't stack now. So you're getting the 8 armor, which is okay. Help for survivability. Obviously, his duplicate will get that as well. And you're getting magnetic field attack speed. Nice. Okay. Extra attack speed and magnetic field. And flux damage per second. Okay. These are some interesting changes. I'll accept this. These are good changes. Axe. What happened to Axe? His shard definitely got wrecked. His shard did get wrecked. We were expecting Axe to get nerfed. Z-Quick Exotics and I were talking about how Axe was going to get nerfed. Reworked shard now causes Counter Helix to apply a 6-second stacking debuff that reduces attack damage by 20% and increases Counter Helix chance by 10. Axe is no longer a Manta builder, but instead a proper initiator. Axe is back to building blade mail initiating. That's what this is. That's what this is. Axe is an initiator again. I like it this way, honestly. Like, I know the Manta build, people liked it. I was building Manta on Axe like a lot. He would be able, you'd play him as a position 3 who transitioned into a hard carry. It was fun. It had to happen. I love Axe. I'm a position 3 player, but this had to happen. This makes more sense. I think this is more in line with what Axe is supposed to be. You know, like this feels like this is what Axe was supposed to be in the first place. Okay. Bane. Brain Sap. Oh, sorry. Talents on Axe. So 9 strength replaced with magic resistance. That's actually big. No one took the 9 strength. It was useless. The magic resistance is important though. Health replaced with counter helix damage. So this, okay, these are actually buffs here. So this might actually be pretty decent. Manta Axe is gone, but these two are buffs. I'm taking these as buffs straight up. Counter helix is going to do more damage. You add a blade mail, increased magic resistance, and the debuff. Axe is back. Blink Axe is back. Brain Sap. So cost of life stuff, increased range, reduced mana cost. Nightmare now deals pure damage per second. Oh, nice. Gonna do some damage there, bud. A little bit of Nightmare. Avenge Sevenfold. Fiend's Grip. Cast point reduced. Okay, so it's all quality of life stuff. Is this enough for Bane? I don't know. Bane feels so crappy. Bane's basically a position 5 who trades their position 1 or 2, right? You Fiend's Grip a guy, you know you're going to die, but you know they're going to die. So, that's right, Chica. We got ourselves a patch. It's out. We're going through it. Bad Rider, Sticky Knee Palm damage increased, and Firefly rescaled. Okay, not bad. Not bad. No one's really playing Bad Rider in our brackets anyway. Beastmaster. So this is huge. I'm a huge Beastmaster fan. I was hoping for him to get some love here. Agnum Shard, Call of the Wild Hawk can now be unit targeted, which will cause the Hawk to move in the direction of the target and cast Dive when it's in range. Okay, so that's a quality of life change that makes it easier to use. Call of the Wild Boar, attack damage increased significantly in the early levels. Not so much at the later levels. Call of the Wild Hawk, vision increased. I bet you they're hoping that this will help Beastmaster have a stronger early game by giving him increased damage on his wild boars and increased vision. And also the changes to the Helm Dom is going to help him kind of scale better. Beastmaster might still be dead. I don't know if this is enough for him. We'll give him a shot for sure. Big changes. Bloodseeker. Thirst now heals half the amount of denies. Okay, makes sense. Health threshold increased. Okay, makes sense. The thirst seemed like a little janky. Talents. Armor replaced by Blood Rage spell application. Ooh, that's punishing. Spell lifesteal replaced by initial rupture damage. Wow. These are buffs, man. Bloodseeker might be back. Bloodseeker's been pretty good though. Like when you're against a Bloodseeker, when you're against a Bloodseeker, you feel it, right? Like he's really limiting. He has a really good potential for disrupting, right? Chica, Beastmaster was really okay. So Chica, you're right. Beastmaster was on the top of the meta when they were when he was basically using the Aghanim's scepter and just whipping his axes everywhere. But they nerfed the crap out of it, so then he fell out of the meta. He has like one of the worst win rates in the game. Bounty Hunter, Shuriken? I don't know how to say the word. Toss, Shuriken toss, maybe Shuriken. Meh. Hayuken, right? Okay. Anyways, cooldown reduced to 5 seconds. Damage rescaled, so it does less damage. Mana cost rescaled, so less mana. Cast range rescaled, so it's a lot further. What? So it's like a more rapid attack. Interesting. So it's meant to be. It's used more of like a harassment, not like a damage. Interesting. Oh, here it is. This is why. Because track now causes the toss to deal considerably more damage. Okay. So now Bounty Hunter has a combo. Bounty Hunter now has a combo. That's why. Okay, I was like, what are you doing here? Talents for Bounty Hunter. 20 movement speed replaced by Shadow Walk slow. Okay, a lot of people didn't really pay attention to the Shadow Walk effect. A lot of new players kind of ignore the idea of the Shadow Walk slow. And then you have increased track speed movement to allies, which is great. 20, so now ground vision of the target. Okay, so that was basically the old shard. And 2 shuriken toss charges, so you can track and then boom, boom, and like nuke them. Interesting, Bounty Hunter, that's a... I mean, I think Zeke Exotics will have to speak more to Bounty Hunter as a 4, but position 4. But I think that now you're seeing some burst damage capabilities between track and shuriken toss in the late game, because you're basically getting the damage amplification. If you have the track on the target, you're doing more damage. But you're outputting more mana, but it has a further attack range. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, Liquid Auction, you're thinking it's better, eh? Might be viable offlane. Ooh. Offlane bounty hunter. I gotta tell you, I'd be interested in that. I'm in for that. Brewmaster, a hero that no one plays. So rescale, so base damage rescaled there. Okay. Specifically on the Void? On the Void Bruling? And a buff to his passive Drunken Brawler. Okay. So it's overall... So basically what this is doing is it's reducing the power spike of Brewmaster at level 6 and giving him a better opportunity to survive with Drunken Brawler. Okay, Bristleback. They didn't touch his... Okay, they didn't touch his Ags, but they're going after Vicious Nasal Goo. Base slow reduced from 20 to 15. Okay, not brutal. Scepter radius reduced from 900 to 800. Okay, we knew it was going to happen. Scepter max stacks reduced from 8 to 7. Okay, it's not dead. It's still good. It's still good. Stack duration increased from 14 to 16. Got it. The Broodmother. Oh, Broodmother's going to get decimated. Broodmother. Okay, so we're playing Broodmother just now, trying to get it going. But you think Zoo builds are back? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Spin Web now grants Broodmother and her spiderlings movement speed based on the health of the unit. Okay. Interesting. That makes it so Broodmother cannot escape as effectively. So when Broodmother is being ganked, her spider web is not going to give her the same amount of speed, because once she starts taking damage, she moves less quickly. Spawn spiderlings mana cost increased, damage reduced. That basically makes it so it's less of a nuke. Reworked the scepter, so reducing her mobility. So Broodmother's mobility just got completely decimated. I think she's dead. Rip Broodmother. Because the whole thing was how mobile she was, right? The amount of space you're creating. Vector targeted. So kind of the vector targeted is like Pangolier, right? Pangolier Swashbuckle. Swashbuckle. Broodmother creates a 900 with invisible web line that takes 2 seconds to form. Enemy heroes that cross the web line will make it visible and become rooted. They will be visible in fog and receive 100 DPS for 4 seconds. Broodmother's team is notified in the mini-map whenever someone trips the web line. Multiple heroes can trip the line at the same time. Maximum 5 snares can be active. What? That's really interesting. She's an actual spider. So she's actually going to catch people. This is actually really neat. This is neat. This is fun. It's you know what? At first I was reading the spin web thing. I was like, oh man, they killed Broodmother. But now I see why. Because now she doesn't have to be... Because she can wait at 100% health and then pounce on somebody. And look at this. The talent change from 15 attack damage to 50% spider damage to buildings. Basically makes it so that she can't kill heroes as effectively. That's all that is. Basically reducing her ability to fight 1v1 against heroes. Centaur. Stun duration decreased slightly. Stampede. Buffed. Okay. Minor buffs to Centaur. Chaos Knight. Strength gain. Reduced. Reality Rift cooldown increased. At lower levels. Lifesteal decreased, so it's a nerf. And he's more... Oh, wow. Okay. So he's more chaosy. More RNG. Fixed. Strong illusion buff on Phantom. Okay. Okay. So it's a bug fix. That's not even a patch note. Okay, so increased Reality Rift pull distance. This is actually huge because Chaos Knight can get kited very effectively. So if you can increase the range at which you can pull with Reality Rift, you can initiate better on like a drow or a sniper, right? Chaos Strike lifesteal increase. Nice for the extra talent. 5+ stats was pretty good. Ooh, they got rid of the cleave. They got rid of cleave. That's pretty rough. I mean, Chaos Knight loved his cleave talent. But now you get a reduced Chaos Pull cooldown. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, Brood was certainly not buffed, Zaza. Brood got... I mean, we'll see. Broodmother is no longer what she used to be, clearly. So we'll have to kind of see what the way she's going to be played. Chen's one of those heroes that like you probably will never see in your games, but is relevant in the pro meta. Aura no longer provides healing amplification, so Divine Favor increases armor. Okay. Persuasion, rework the shard. Okay, nice. Can now target the ancient creeps. Nice. And the scepter's been reworked. So again, this is huge. Providing a strong dispel is pretty significant. But again, this is this is not like Chen's in the pub meta now. Like the amount of coordination required to take advantage of literally all of this is significant. So this is pro changes. And the rework scepter, so the strong dispel in Hand of God, so you're going to be casting it on every allied hero, providing a strong dispel is huge. That's amazing. Whoa! Strafe removed from Clinks. You like that Chen buff, eh, Zaza? Nice. It's interesting, but like he's still not a pub hero, I don't think. But this is huge. Like I think the Scepter's incredible. Maybe one of the best in the game. A strong dispel on all on your entire team. That's insane. Plus the heal, right? That's insane. It's absolutely insane. This might be one of the best Scepters in the game. But can you actually use Chen in a pub? So strafe removed. You got a new ability, Burning Barrage. Burning Barrage channels shooting arrows at the target. So is this like a multi-shot? But it keeps them static, right? So it makes Clink slightly vulnerable. This is basically like a modified version of multi-shot from Drow Ranger. Cost reduced on searing arrows. Skeleton Walk no longer cast spells without breaking in. Okay, that makes sense. That was annoying. You can... It's like this counteracts this. Death Pact can now be used without bringing it invisibility. Cool. Talents reworked, so increased magic resistance, which is actually a big buff, honestly, because it makes Clinks more survivable. The way you counter Clinks was by making Clinks explode, right? Nerf to Skeleton Walk makes them less annoying. And more Burning Barrage arrows. Okay. Yeah, the shard will allow Chen to split push for sure. Clockwork. Aw, rip bonus movement speed. But now you get more cogs. Ooh, cogs gonna get more mana burn. Nice. And rocket flare cooldown. So this is basically solidifying Clockwork as a support, I think. This to me solidifies him as a support. God, does it? The mana burn is gonna help him. I mean, I guess at level 10, if you want more rocket flare cooldown, you're a support or still an initiator. Interesting. Never mind, I take that back. Position 3 Clockwork might still be a thing. Because the mana burn is significant, but, I mean, when you think Rocket Flare, it provides him with added vision to initiate better. Maybe he is back. Maybe he will be okay. Crystal Maiden. Reduced base attack speed. Okay. That's actually a pretty significant nerf. Mana cost reduced on Crystal Nova. So she can cast it more frequently in the early stages of the game. Freezing Field. So the explosion distribution is more evenly across its radius. Shard now increases total explosions by 20%. Okay. So that's fine. So she's not going to be able to harass him as effectively in lane. So Crystal Maiden's laning stage got dialed back, but she's more effective everywhere else. Okay. Darkseer. Okay, that's a bug fix. And then you got Wall of Replica, so duration reduced. Okay, so reduction in duration. Normal Punch now has True Strike, sorry. Duration increased. So this is just a huge buff to Normal Punch, which I already thought was awesome. So basically, building a Blink Dagger on a Darkseer, blinking in, and then normal punching a guy is legit. Talents. Ion Shell. So level 10 Ion Shell Radiance replaced with Illusion Damage. Oh, so they basically swapped them. They moved the level 10 talent to 15. The shell damage has been... This prevents him from pushing the waves too early, too fast. Okay. Dark Willow. Stunned reduced on Cursed Crown. Reductions to Cursed Crown duration. Shadow Realm duration increased and damage. That makes sense. That makes sense. It actually makes carry Willow a little better, I think, because if you get the increased Shadow Realm duration, does it? Maybe not. It probably doesn't scale because then if you have the scepter, right? Aghanim Scepter, because then you can just attack the entire time. Might be better. Dawnbreaker. Starbreaker no longer ignores movement restrictions like Kinetic Field. Okay, so she can get literally trapped somewhere. No longer gets canceled if Starbreaker gets rooted. Instead, the movement's interrupted. Okay, so if she gets rooted, she's still going to go through her whole thing, but she won't move. An added Aghanim Shard grants magic immunity during Starbreaker. That makes sense. So she initiates in, she Starbreaks. That makes sense. That's actually a pretty interesting shard. Gives her some initiation capabilities. Solar Guardian. Aghanim Scepter reduces Solar Guardian channeling time to 1 second. Okay, that's better. Guardian can now be cast again upon takeoff. Wait, hold on. Solar Guardian can be cast again upon takeoff to land early. Oh, I see. So you can kind of activate it to land faster. Solar Guardian now gives allies 6% evasion while Dawnbreaker is airborne. So when Dawnbreaker's in the air, they're getting evasion, but she can proc it to land immediately and do damage. Increases heal per pulse. Okay. So she can basically stay in the air and allow that effect to like kind of just occur. And then she can activate it to do the stun and everything. Okay. Okay, level 10 talents being a lot of talent changes. So strength being replaced with Celestial Hammer Slow, which is significant. It's a good skill. Movement speed, increased Starbreaker swipe damage, which is going to go well with her shard. Luminosity crit damage. I don't think anyone's really doing that. Yeah, okay, so see the 20 talent now? Instead of having 2 Starbreaker charges, you're increasing the Solar Guardian radius, which is huge because when you have this Scepter, you're now like healing and you're doing that evasion opportunity for your team. I think Dawnbreaker's she's a position 4 now. That has to be what this means because you're going to have a position 3 initiate the fight, then you're going to Dawnbreaker Solar Guardian on top of the initiation, which is going to actually provide healing and miss chance for the whole team. And remember, when you stack healing and miss opportunities, so the enemy team's not only hitting you less frequently, but you're healing at the same time. So it's kind of like a double whammy against them, right? I think this solidifies Dawnbreaker as a position 4. Because as a position 3, you'd want to be the initiator. The only way that Dawnbreaker would be a position 3 if you have like a Faceless Void or someone, or someone who likes to go in first. Actually, Faceless Void does not like to go in first. What the hell am I talking about? If you have a core that likes to go in first, Faceless Void should be going in second. Anyways, whatever. What the hell do I know? Faceless Void's like kind of hero that likes to like wait and then go in to make sure they make the most of their Chronosphere. Dazzle. Reduction to base agility. Okay, so Poison Touch nerfed. Only refreshes its duration when Dazzle attacks the target, not when everyone else is. But it has increased slow. And now increases the slow percentage every time it is refreshed. So Dazzle's going to be nasty in lane now. So now Poison Touch, Dazzle can just get on top of you and Poison Touch you like crazy. All right. And Shallow Grave getting buffed. Why the hell would Dazzle want 20 strength? Is there something I'm not seeing here? Level 15, you can either get 20 strength or 60 attack speed. What in the hell is that? Carry Dazzle? Why would you want the 20 strength? Just for the straight up HP? Is there something I'm not... Chat, is there something I'm not seeing? YouTube comments? Is there something I'm not seeing about why 20 strength is what Dazzle wants? Because I can see the 50 damage at level 10. I can see the 60 attack speed. I don't see where the 20 strength comes into play. I don't know. The 20 strength is interesting to me. Maybe I'm not seeing it, guys. Let me know in the comments. Death Prophet. Buffed strength. Silence. Now fires a projectile towards a targeted area. Okay, that's actually a buff, because Silence was always kind of weird to play around with Death Prophet. So it has a reduced cast point, but now, theoretically, it's a skill shot. Okay. Interesting. So it's kind of like, it's going to have like a Rod of Eidos projectile than effect. Cooldown increase for Exorcism. 15 talent. Reduction to Crypt Swarm, which makes her a little better. I think that's better ultimately. Okay, very interesting. So Health Siphon increased. Alright. So there's a Spirit Siphon build now. Basically there's a Spirit Siphon build, is what happened here. Okay, it gave her a very specific path towards Spirit Siphon. Okay, so that's a build now. Kinetic Field and Disruptor. Formation time reduced. So Disruptor has been buffed? Okay. So that makes it easier to land Kinetic Field. It makes it harder to get out of it. Thunder Strike. So it's going to be slower. So the slow per strike is increased. So the slow is going to actually work. 20 strike is going to Moonshard late. Okay, early Witchblade, got you. Yeah, Witchblade would be pretty cool on Dazzle, wouldn't it? You're right, it would have a really good effect. Doom. Intelligence gain reduced, that's a significant reduction. Devour bonus gold reduced. I think this had to happen. Doom was one of those heroes that would like accelerate through the net worth chart, but ultimately not have enough impact on the game. So, obviously Doom is what Doom is, like the actual ultimate. But I like the idea of rescaling Devour and giving it somewhere else. So like, yeah, give a little off of Devour and give it back to Scorched Earth. I like that. I like this change. This makes Doom more playable. Why did I call him Tooth? I don't know why the hell why did I call Doom Tooth? Anyways, damage increased. Got it. Okay. So Scorched Earth is just better now. Scorched Earth is better now. But it has less duration at level 1. So if you get on top of somebody, you're gonna hit them. You're gonna hit them for more damage, reduce cooldown. It's more of like a opportunistic skill instead of one that's just always around. It's time to see the dentist. It is a sign, Chica. It is a sign. Infernal Blade base damage increase. So yeah, so Doom's getting buffed. Doom's gonna be able to get on top of you and do more damage. Slight nerfs to the cooldown on his talents. Okay. Dragon Knight. Davion. No! They killed Dragontail. They murdered Dragontail. No, they did. It's still a huge stun, but it was so... damn it. Dragontail. Rip. It's still fine. It's still a big stun. They took a quarter second off it. Quarter second could be the difference, though, guys. Dragon Blood. Oh, nerfs. Less... health regen. Oh, we got nerfed again. Oh, it's all nerfs. Dragon Knight. No. Why did they nerf him? Black Elder Dragon. Nerfed. Fireball nerfed. Dragon Knight got nerfed all around. So much nerf. Jimmins. What happened to our boy Dragon Knight? Davion, rest in peace. That pisses me off. Basically, they made me buy the battle pass, pay money to get to Davion the Dragon Knight, unlock the persona, and then after the battle pass is done, they're like, boom, nerfed them. How do you like that? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, of course Drow's gonna get buffed, but she already got buffed with the Hurricane Pike, but whatever. So, oh, nerf to the bonus damage of marksmanship. Split arrows no longer consume mana. Uh-oh. Is she actually getting nerfed? No, okay, so this is a buff. Okay, so the level 10 talent, that's a buff. I'll take that. That's actually pretty huge. So they're lowering her farming speed by taking the agility and the stats out, but giving her more actual utility. And again, cooldown reduction being taken out. Yeah, Valve did us dirty, man. 100%. Earth Spirit, the spirit of the earth. Stone Remnants replenishing a little faster. And talents changed with Magnetized Duration, his ultimate, and Push Distance. Okay. You're not seeing a lot of Earth Spirit right now, but I think the Stone Remnants is going to be a little more of a quality of life thing. Earthshaker has sucked for so long. Let's see what we got. Bonus, so movement speed. One thing I will tell you, I saw an interview somewhere where Ice Frog said that the most broken thing in Dota is movement speed. And anytime you buff a hero's movement speed, you buff them so significantly. So, Earthshaker's getting a movement speed buff. Not a lot, but it's some. Talents. Base damage increased to 30. Fissure damage at level 10. Aftershock damage. Aftershock radius. So it's just damage. His whole so Earthshaker got increased speed, increased intelligence, and just damage across the board. Damage across the board. So this might be Earthshaker carry might be back. You see that every once in a while where people go like mid carry Earthshaker. This is all mid carry Earthshaker stuff right here. Drow overall is probably a buff. Like these talent changes are really significant. These are really significant. And again, also do not forget what Hurricane Pike did, right? Elder Titan, damage reduction on Echo Stomp, and duration of Ancestral Spirit increased. Sounds good, bro. Elder Titan's one of those heroes I think I hate. I don't know. I hate playing against them. He's just so annoying. Amber Spirit, Searing Chains, damage rescaled. Okay, fair enough. A little more damage. Flame Guard increased, which is good. The absorb amount. Fire Remnant. The max travel distance has been reduced, which basically, does that prevent him from going all the way to Fountain? That might prevent him from going to Fountain. From like, I'd have to check what this means. This prevents him from going to Fountain right back. I think from High Ground to Fountain. I'm not sure. I have to double check. It reduces his mobility as a Fire Remnant. And Searing Chain target. Okay. I like that. I like adding more Searing Chain target. That helps him scale better. So get rid of the spell amplification. Allow him to hit an additional target with Searing Chains. Okay. That makes sense. Enchantress. Enchant, range reduction, sad face, carry enchant. So early game harassment Enchantress rip. No, nerfed. Nerfed magic resistance. The way you kill Enchantress is through magic, obviously. And you're looking at a talent. Damage increase there. And, oh, sad. Nerfs. Enchantress got worked in, guys. I'm sorry for all you Enchantress players. We're going to move a little faster here. I know it's taking forever. Enigma. Multiple instances no longer stack. Did they change? Did they change the Aghanim's Shard then? Not the Aghanim's Scepter? Probably not. Okay, so that's a nerf. And this is why. Scepter now deals 5% bonus pure damage instead of the current level of Midnight Pulse. Okay. So more Adili on attack speed. Idle on attack speed, sorry. Got rid of the cooldown reduction and more Malefice damage. Faceless Void. Reduction of Chronosphere. That's a huge buff. Time dilation damage per second. Time walk. Huge buffs. Level 20 talent. 120 attack speed and Chronosphere. Huge. These are massive buffs to Faceless Void. These are gargantuan buffs. So basically, he chronos and he trades with two heroes, is what this is. This is a massive buff to Faceless Void. Grimstroke. So now the Stroke of Fate increased incremental damage is increased because the more enemies you hit, the more damage you take. Has been buffed. Inkswell duration increased from 3 to 4 seconds, which allows it to be used more defensively, but also can be trickier because when you're trying to do it offensively, the enemy now has an extra second to maneuver away from it. So it's like Inkswell now, like the extra second is both a buff, nerf, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, 100% Chica Chica. Void, that's a huge buff for Void. Huge buff for Void. Let's see what they did to Gyro. Gyro, I think, needed a nerf, honestly. So reduction in agility gain makes sense. Intelligence gain increased. Homing Missile reworked the shard. So Homing Missile now constantly fires a rocket barrage starting 1 second after casting. Okay. Flak Cannon, range reduced. That's actually a pretty huge nerf. This is a huge nerf. Flak Cannon range reduction. Liquid Auction, you don't think this is a nerf? This looks like a nerf to me. I don't know. This seems pretty big because you consider what Satanic does, right? The shard is good. Yeah, the shard looks like it's probably interesting. Because he's going to be able to heal off the shard, I'm sure. Call down, so call down's now better. Talents, you're looking at, lol. So talents, increase flak. So yeah, so he gets the flak cannon back at level 10. Never mind, same crap. It's actually better than before. He's just going to take that talent. He's literally just going to take the flat cannon attack range. So it's same crap. Oh, and he gets more flat cannon attacks. I mean, the eggs, they didn't rework the eggs. Is Gyrocopter even stronger now? Damn it. I thought he was nerfed at first. Then we got to the talents and the truth, the devil's in the details. No, Hoodwink! They reduced the movement speed of Hoodwink. That was the best part of Hoodwink, her speed. That's a huge nerf to Hoodwink. Damage is now dealt over time. Damage stops if hero is released. That sucks. Decoy. Now throws a lesser bushwhack toward the unit and spawns a tree in its location. Okay, so they buffed the decoy, which sucks. Increased security. Okay, oh! I like that 15 talent. Increased the amount of acorn shot bounces. I think that's cool. So, basically, this is a huge nerf. A huge nerf to Hoodwink. 10 movement speed is significant. Don't pretend like it's not. But this talent, removing adding extra acorn shot bounces allows you to proc like maelstroms and stuff like that more commonly. So that is actually really valuable. So it helps her to scale better to the mid game. Huskar, movement speed increase. Shard, oh, the Shard got nerfed. Huskar Shard got nerfed. No longer reduces healing by 50%, but now heals Huskar for 50%. Never mind, did not get nerfed. So it heals Huskar, but doesn't reduce healing by 50. Okay. Inner Fire duration is now longer at level 10. Life Break slow duration, significant. And Life Break damage being changed. Okay. Invoker, base movement speed reduction, nerfed. Lift duration changed. Chaos Meteor. So it's going to do less damage overall. Okay. Yeah, so, oh no, it does more burn damage. So Chaos Meteor does less damage up front, but more damage over time. Okay. Deafening Blast. Damage has been reduced significantly. Knockback duration has been reduced as well. So we're seeing some nerfs to Invoker. Of course, just in time for the, why are you so happy Hood got nerfed? Chica, that's not fair. Hoodwink's amazing. I love Hoodwink. Invoker has seen some nerfs. Io. Max tether distance increased and healing increased. Nice. Buff for Io. Jakiro. Cast point. Oh, this is great. Cast point improved for Jakiro. So that makes it so much easier to play this damn hero. So Jakiro's one of those heroes that like all his skills feel like crap. Because like there's such huge cast points on them. They take forever to cast. Like you're like, oh, I'm gonna fire breath. But now they improve the cast point. Great. More damage on liquid fire and macro fire increased. So this prevents him from defending and pushing towers as effectively in the early game, but eventually gets there in the late game. Macro fire nerfed, but this is a nice little buff. I was expecting more from Jakiro. I'm surprised they didn't give him more than this. I mean, this is a lot of burn damage. Liquid fire might be actually legit now. I wonder if you scale this in the laning stage. Oh, you like that Jakiro acting? Juggernaut. Damage increased on Blade Fury. Rip laning stage for everyone against Juggernaut. Healing Ward movement speed reduced. Okay. So basically Juggernaut now is better in the lane with the Blade Fury increase. But now he has increased Blade Fury radius instead of movement speed at level 10. That's important because he also has his Shard, which is going to allow him to scale better with his Blade Fury. So he's going to be able to use Blade Fury in the late game. So he's going to have increased damage, and he's also going to be able to get increased radius. I think those are buffs for Jug, straight up. Keeper, increased armor, which allows him to trade better. Channel time, so interesting. So Illuminate's channel time is always consistent, but I'm sure the damage still increases. So the damage always increases. So this basically makes it so that he does more damage in less time at later levels. So Keeper's better in the late game. Chakra Magic, cooldown reduced. Okay, so he's better laning. He's a better at laning hero and he scales better. Okay, good Keeper the late buffs. Ghost Ship fleet interval changed from 3.5 to 3. Okay. So movement speed rescaled. So Torrent is going to be less impactful in the early game. Tidebringer Cleat. Okay, yeah, this had to happen. So less cleave, but more outright damage. Okay, that makes sense. Slight rescaling. Basically allows the... he doesn't scale as hard with some items. Yeah, Underlord and Jakir would create crazy lane pressure. Okay, so bug fix on press the attack. Ooh, increased dual cast range. That's actually pretty huge at level 10 for the Legion Commander, because that's how kiting her is kind of what you want to do, right? That's pretty good. That's going to help her scale a little better because she's going to get more duels, especially on vulnerable targets. I like the level 10. Oh, that's hard. That's great too. The overwhelming odds radius is pretty significant. And attack speed reduced, so you get more HP regen with press the attack. Okay. I like those changes. I think... I really like, yeah, Ant Lover, new patch. I really like when, with Legion Commander, like, I like all talents when they make you kind of pick between one or the other. Like Heroes of the Storm was really good at this. Where Heroes of the Storm, you had multiple branching paths with talents, and there often was a meta choice, but you could often, based on game situation, decide one versus the other. And it wasn't just like, well, this one's clearly better than the other one all the time, and you always pick this one. And I feel like Dota struggles with that sometimes, where there always are talents which you just always pick because they're just always better. And I like this because at level 10 for Legion Commander, the increased dual cast range is pretty significant, but so is that overwhelming odds radius. So like, having really to make like hard choices in a game, I think is what Dota needs to get to. Where like you're like, hey, both of these are really valuable in different game situations. Which is the best for right now? Not just like a solid, just like this build's always better, right? So I think that's a really good change there. So Theobolic Edict on Leshrac now deals pure damage, damn, but no longer deals bonus damage to towers. So the Leshrac push effect has been reduced. So Leshrac's going to be able to push towers less effectively. Okay. But that pure damage cannot be underestimated, man. Damn, pure damage. Rip. Leshrac's going to be killing people. Okay, Lich needed a ton of work. Mana cost reduced on Frost Blast. Pretty significant. Because what that's going to do is going to allow... It's not a lot, but it allows him to lean a little more effectively. That's not a lot. Come on, Ice Frog. At least move to 105. Give him 10 mana, bruh. That's not enough. Sinister Gaze cast range increased just to straight up 600. That is a straight up buff. That is good. So now you can get a value point in Sinister Gaze. You already did anyway, but... Mana cost decreased. And Scepter now allows you to cast your abilities while channeling. So you can channel the entire enemy team with Sinister Gaze and still cast abilities? Hell yeah. That's actually a pretty big buff. So Scepter is now a must-buy on Lich. I'm going to have to update the guide for that. Chain Frost, initial projectile speed is increased. That is good. So that makes it so like Anti-Mage. So Anti-Mage is now buffed. So that makes it so like something like Anti-Mage Counterspell won't be as effective against Chain Frost. Because you need to time it better. Good players will still do it. Oh, thank God they got rid of this. So there used to be an attack talent for level 15, 100%, 100 plus attack damage. Useless. Now you get more Sinister Gaze. So now Sinister Gaze is going to be a build around for Lich. So you're going to be building the Aghanim Scepter. You're going to be going to level 15. You're going to be building the Sinister Gaze. That's huge. Because you can gaze and then ult. Yeah, Chica, exactly. So now there's a legitimate combo with Lich where you Sinister Gaze and ultimate and you have talents to support that as well. Awesome. Lich is back, kind of. The mana, we needed more mana off these. This needed more mana off, but whatever. I'll take those other changes. Nerf to Lifestealer's movement speed. Mana cost reduced on Infest, and now disarms enemies. That's actually pretty big. Okay. So, greatly reducing the amount of movement speed available to Lifestealer. So those are nerfs. Lifestealer cannot close down, but I mean, Lifestealer is a natural basher builder. So once he gets onto an enemy with rage, he can usually lock them down very effectively. Obviously, he has DS skills for that as well. So Lina with a base damage increase by 2. That's pretty big with Fiery Soul, but Fiery Soul has been worked as well, so the attack speed has been decreased. So this affects her laning. It's so basically she's going to attack less often but hit slightly harder. Lion, armor reduced. Travel distance reduced on Earthspike. Finger of Death. Scepter damage reduced. Nerfs to Lion. Rip. Lena, it's not really a full nerf on Lena. This is a nerf to carry Lena. But it does impact her laning stage a little bit. I mean, the extra attack damage is still great. You'll take it, but yeah, it's still good. I think it's a very minor change, honestly. She's able to harass effectively still. Lion, big nerfs to Lion. Lone Druid, you're not seeing it very often in our brackets here, but you're looking at improvements to attack speed. True Form being improved in Entangle chance as well, and Demolish bonus increase. So straight up bust for Lone Druid. You don't see much Lone Druid. Luna is broken right now. Luna needs a nerf, and it has been. Cooldown increased on Lucent Beam from 6 seconds to 9 at level 1. Going back to level 4 at 6 seconds. Okay, Glaive's acquisition range decreased. Alright, understood. Moonglaves. Damage reduction percentage increased. Okay, so basically it does less bouncing damage. Level 10 talent reworked. Okay, so now she farms less effectively. So now Luna's attack speed talent at 10 has been removed. So now she farms less effectively because now you're getting less glaive bounces. You have to spec for that. So she does not have the same farming capabilities early on. But big team fight acquisition here with the Eclipse cooldown at 15. Global Lunar Blessing. No way. That's pretty good at 20, man. So the thing is, though, are you going to build, like, team fight? Are you going to build Eclipse cooldown and Lucent Beam damage? You know what I mean? You have a choice to make. Global Lunar Blessing is pretty awesome. Okay. I think she's more of a team fighter. She's less, I'm just going to AFK and farm. Right? Yeah, it's a huge team fight buff. 100% it is, Liquid Oxygen. So, like, Eclipse is now legit, like, it always has been a really good team fight ultimate, but now it's even better, for sure. What'd you do to Lycan? Give Lycan something. Shard. Shard wolves now have low attack priority, will only acquire enemy aggro if they... Okay. Shard wolves now can cripple towers. Okay, so the shard sends like a wolf down into the lanes. So they will not get aggro immediately, and they will cripple towers. Very good to know. Howl increased duration. Cooldown reduced at higher levels. Level 10 talent, increased summon wolf duration. Sorry, damage. And shapeshift cooldown. Okay, so some buffs to Lycan's shard and his wolves, which should allow him to split push more effectively, but does not make him necessarily a better fighter. And the Howl duration, of course, benefits all his wolves. So they're trying to make Lycan like a split pusher. He's more of a position 3 now. Or even a 4, honestly. Because now he just has like more of a global presence. Magnus Skewer, damage increased, and power. Okay. I like the empowered duration reduction. I think that was important. Oh, of course he gets it back at level 10. Of course you get it back at level 10 with a talent. Okay, quality of life stuff. Okay, Mars. Spear of Mars. Cooldown reduced. Cooldown increased on Arena of Blood. This is important because Arena of Blood was one of those ultimates that had really low cooldown. So you're able to use it kind of off cooldown non-stop, and that's been fixed. Okay. And you're getting God Rebuke Slow. Bulwark movement penalty. Okay, very nice. That makes Bulwark a little more usable. Increased Spear of Mar damage. So you're getting like a cooldown increase on Arena of Blood, but the combination of Arena of Blood with Spear of Mars has been increased. And so Bulwark has been buffed significantly. So Bulwark's going to be a legitimate skill. Cool. We're moving a little quicker here. Medusa. I'm glad they changed the snake jump distance, which was so annoying. But she has an improvement in her early game via the amount of damage per mana. No. No, it's a nerf. I misread that. So she's getting less damage per mana reduction. So it's a nerf. Yeah, so she's more susceptible in the early game. Yeah, she's more susceptible in the early game. So basically, if she has Mana Shield early, it's actually doing less for her than it used to. Okay. Meepo. Who cares about Meepo? Boosters care about Meepo. Reductions. Nerfs. Damage reduced. Nerf. But now does pure damage. Buff. Reworked the shard. So Divided Weak Stand can be cast on any Meepo as long as there's another Meepo in the radius. Cool. And it does increase damage. Damn. And a reduction in poof damage. Okay. So the rework shard's significant. And the poof damage being pure damage is really significant as well. Scales less effectively. Mirana's Sacred Arrow. Oh, max stun reduced. Just early on, though. It's a minor reduction, but it's a reduction. And the vision's been reduced as well. But you're getting increased, the talent's reduction of cooldown, so you can Sacred Arrow more often. Increased leap distance. Moonlight Shadow now, ooh, I see. So this is actually a pretty cool thing here. So at level 15, Mirana's Moonlight Shadow actually gives active evasion of 20% even when you're not invisible, of course. Interesting. And you get a midnight, so you get a cooldown reduction, so you can use it as a teamfight utility item. Utility skill earlier on. Okay, cool. That's neat. Monkey King. Tree Dance Cast Point decreased, so now he can jump a lot quicker. This was similar to what the old shard used to be, right? It used to be really, really fast. So Cast Point, a little quicker. Travel Speed, so he's a little more mobile. Jingu Mastery, so more lifesteal, so he's been buffed. Shard's been reworked. Now reduces Mischief cooldown to 8 seconds, increasing invulnerability time 2.5 seconds. And disjoints projectiles. Oh, so you can disjoint now with Mischief. So Monkey King has some buffs here, but mainly like skill-based buffs, which is nice to see. Morphling. Waveform, mana cost reduction, adaptive strike reduction, and no longer steals Shard or Scepter if Morphling themselves do not have Shard or Scepter. So you got nerfed, bro. You got nerfed. Nice. Everyone hates Morphling. We're not Morphling players around here anyway. We're not Morphling players. So Naga Siren has been in a weird spot where like she clearly needs a buff. She's not fully in the meta. But she's one of those heroes that if you buff too much will really start punishing everybody. So you're getting a rework shard, so agility reduction, so she doesn't scale as effectively. But Song of the Siren now healing allies for 5% per second. So that right there, that is like support Naga type stuff there. Riptide increased damage, which is good. But now you're getting 8 agility, so you're getting the agility back via talents as opposed to straight up illusion damage. But they swapped the talents. Strength increased. Okay, so a lot of different changes. They moved the Song of the Siren. They removed the cooldown reduction. So maybe she, like, if they hadn't done this, if they hadn't changed the 20, she could have done more supporting stuff. Nature's Prophet is absolute trashed here in all levels. I know he's annoying to play against, but in terms of percentages, he loses almost all his games. So, Nature's Prophet gets some bonus mana regeneration, which is key. Bug fix on the Shard Sprout. And vision range reduced. Okay. So that makes so that when he sprouts, he's in more danger. So he's getting a decreased vision, which means that like if he's in vision while he's sprouting, the enemy can sit within like 300 range of him, and they can see him and he can't see them. Base regen per second on treants have been increased significantly. Wrath of Nature increased. That's pretty significant. So that means Wrath of Nature scales significantly better. Okay. Okay. Necrophos. Strength gain reduced. Damage increased and heal increased. So Death Pulse got buffed. Ghost Shroud. So that's a nerf to Ghost Shroud. So basically, it's going to have a self-restoration reduction. So he's not going to be able to self-heal as effectively. But Reaper's Scythe getting an increased cast range. Interesting. I don't know if that's enough. I don't know if that's enough for Necrophos, honestly. Night Stalker. Increased base damage. Okay, he needed that. He needed to be able to trade better. Dark Ascension. Increased cooldown. Fair enough. That's his ultimate. But at level 10, you're getting increased Dark Ascension duration. You're getting increased Dark Ascension damage. And increased strength at level 20, which is effectively damage. It's 10 less damage, but a lot more HP regen and everything else. So these are buffs to Night Stalker straight up. So what they did is they increased the cooldown of Dark Ascension by 10 seconds, but made you get a talent to recuperate it. Right? They basically made this, they nerfed it, but then fixed it via talent. But they gave a ton of buffs down the talent tree for Dark Ascension specifically. Nyx Assassin. Nerfed. Rip. Rip. Rip Nyx Assassin, who already felt bad in lane. Now he sucks even more. Sad. Just when I thought Nyx Assassin was going to be fun to play. Ogre. Don't do... Ogre's one of my favorite. Come on now. Strength gain reduced. Fire shield no longer procs and creep attacks. Probably fine. Fire blast damage increased. Okay. So he can do way more damage. Mana cost increased to 35%. Not a big deal. What? These are huge buffs to Ogre. The Ignite mana cost reduction is huge. You've got to be kidding me. Ogre's getting huge buffs here because he's going to do increased damage with Fire Blast. And Ignite is an incredible reduction in mana. That allows him to go Ignite earlier on and actually like use it in lane properly. Huge buffs to Ogre. That's very significant. And this change here, so it doesn't proc on creep attacks, allows Fire Shield to be more applicable to heroes and skirmishes. I like those changes to Ogre. Ogre got a buff. So less strength for Omni Knight. Agility gain increased. Bonus strength increase. So he's going to get more bonus strength. Actually, even his target from Heavenly Grace. Big buff to Guardian Angel, his ultimate, which is really key. Hammer of Purity. No longer heals Omni Knight. But reduces an enemy hero's outgoing damage by 60%. Interesting. The Guardian Angel effect is huge. Reduce mana cost. Sorry, reduce cooldown. 8 seconds at level 3. I think this is pretty significant. It gives Omni Knight a chance to do some team fighting. Oracle. Getting some love. As one would expect. Increased armor. Reduction increase. Reduction on false promise. Okay. That's okay. Arcane Orb can now hit Roshan, which is interesting for OD. And now Astral Imprisonment now grants additional 5% mana capacity steal for Astral Imprisonment. Okay. They have to be careful though, OD, right? Because they really reworked OD with the previous patches. And I think they're kind of getting to the point where like a good OD is still a good player, but like they don't want to like really push them. There was a point, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a point where OD was completely out of control. I think they're trying to avoid that. Pango's Shield Crash now slows enemies for 3 seconds. I know Zach likes Pango, so he's going to be excited to see this. Thompson also likes Pango. Damage reduction increased. Damage reduction duration rescaled. So you're slowing, you're doing damage reduction, but it's for a lower amount of time. And cooldown reduction. Okay, so this is better. This is a buff. So you're slowing enemies, you're still doing the damage reduction, but it's for a lesser amount of time, but you have a reduction of cooldown. But also you can use Shield Crash as like an escape, right? So that's kind of beneficial. A Lucky Shot no longer slows enemies, but now has increased armor reduction. Okay, so you do the slowing with Shield Crash, but now you can't slow with Lucky Shot. Understood. PA, Stifling Dagger. Now PA, I know you guys see a lot of PA, especially at lower brackets, but PA actually statistically kind of sucks right now. Let's see if this changes it. So slow duration increased, so allows her to. That's actually pretty big. So Stifling Dagger is providing a slow effect, but the key here is that it's now going to last longer, which is going to allow PA to like stick on targets, especially earlier in the game. So it's going to allow so PA usually just builds Battle Fury and farms. This kind of helps the Desolator like fighting PA build, because now with the PA, what you can do is you can build the Desolator and you can use Stifling Dagger to stick on top of enemies longer. And yeah, even the talents reflect that, because at level 10 you're getting increased Phantom Strike duration, so you're going to get increased attack speed duration on the Phantom Strike, and you're going to have increased slow effect of the Stifling Dagger. So this definitely makes Phantom Assassin want to build a Desolator, so she can basically blink on top of someone and just pound them to death. Okay, so Phantom Lantern kind of got nerfed a bit by those illusion hunting items that we talked about earlier, but so Juxtaposition, Scepter cooldown reduced, but increases the number of max illusions. Not a lot changed. They incorporated some items to deal with Phantom Lancer, right? Phoenix, so dash length has been reduced, so a little less mobile in the early game. Sunray Sunray's healing got reduced as well. But Fire Spirits has been increased, so the radius of Fire Spirits is a little better. It's been annoying to hit in the past. Sunray's immediate healing has been reduced. Puck, nerfed. Not really a nerf. Fine. Okay. More escape, less mobility, less damage. Yeah, this is a nerf. So base damage reduction, so she's going to lane a little weaker. Cooldown increase, so she can't really stack. It's not a huge cooldown increase, but it's enough. She also uses it as like kind of like a pseudo dodge, right? She uses it for mobility as well. Like phase shift is used for mobility, and getting rid of the Dream Coil initial stun is actually kind of a big deal. Pudge, mana cost rescaled, a little more expensive, but now kills any non-ancient creep. So if you miss hey, this is for all the noobs out there. If you're really bad at landing meat hooks, it's now okay. You're going to kill whatever you don't hit, as long as it's a creep. So when you miss a hook and you hit a creep instead, you get the kill. Nice. Dismember, so it's now reduced on the cast range. Okay. Pogna. Okay, now additionally hails 2 hits whenever it triggers. So now this basically makes so the Nether Ward has more staying power. You drop the Nether Ward, right? And then if it hits something, it actually heals itself a little bit, because it takes 4 attacks to destroy. So if you hit it and then someone casts a spell, it heals itself back up. So it can like stick to the fight a little better. Nice. And a buff to the Nether Blast cooldown reduction, which is great, so that you can combo your Nether Blast more frequently and use it to push towers. Because Nether Blast, Pugna's Q, does affect towers. So these are buffs for Pugna. Buffs for Pugna! Queen of Pain, who has sucked for way too long. Base damage increased by 3, which is very significant. Shadow Strike is now healing Queen of Pain, but the tick damage has been reduced slightly. But still, that's a lot of heal. So Queen of Pain getting a lot of sustained healing now. Shadow Strike also getting damaged instances. Same duration, but ticks happen more often. So she's going to heal more on every tick. So she's going to heal more, and she's going to do more damage. And it allows her to farm and do more AoE damage with Scream of Pain. Cool. Spell Lifesteal, sad. But there's a lot of spell Lifesteal in items. Razor. Now applies its armor reduction before applying its damage. That's important to know, because this is physical damage. What that means is that it actually does more damage now, because you're reducing the armor and then applying the damage. So you're going to get a damage increase net. Okay, so that's actually a buff. So 175 health replaced by 30 plasma field damage. Okay, that is... So plasma field does a lot more damage. The health is interesting, because as a position 3 player, we often built health. But I think that overall is a buff, because I think the plus 30 plasma field damage is significant. Yeah. And static link is now better. So Razor's less tanky, So the position 3 Razor builds are a little suspect now. But now instead of getting, you get the drain duration, which is cool. I think this is overall buff for Razor because if you're against really good single target enemies like PA and Faceless Void, you can spec completely towards Static Link. And if you're more of like a team fight brawler, you can spec towards Eye of the Storm. Interesting. Ricky. Increased damage on Blink Strike. Reduction on Tricks of the Trade damage, but increased Scepter. And a nerf to Sleeping Dart, which is fantastic. I've been talking so much. I have been talking way too much. But we're almost there. Rubik. Spell Steal reduced, nerfed. Projectile speed increased. No, that's a buff. What am I talking about? These are buffs. Okay, so overall, more or less base 100 damage. So yeah, these are buffs for Rubik. Rubik's better. Rubik's better. Good job, Rubik. You did it. Sand King's strength regeneration reduced. Shards now giving 20 damage per pulse of Epicenter instead of... Oh, no. It probably still does the passive, like, radius booms. Level 10 talent, 20 damage per Epicenter pulse replaced with more Sandstorm DPS. Everyone loves Sandstorm. Darude, you know. 15, Sandstorm DPS replaced by Sandstorm Radius. And 20, you got Cosmic Finale damage. So now it looks like they're actually trying to like make builds on these heroes that are a little more specific to individual skills. Like now, like just like Razor had Static Link builds and Eye of the Storm builds, on Sand King you have a Sandstorm build, right? So now you have a build where you actually build towards like kind of increasing your Sandstorm effect. Which in a way is a nerf to like a Broodmother or like, you know, other zoo heroes. Very interesting. Shadow Demon, so increased disruption range. So that's a save. Save and, you know, it can be used in multiple ways. So this increases the viability of Shadow Demon as a hero with a save. Rescaled damage, so more Shadow... So he's going to be able to lane better with Shadow Poison. So increased damage on Shadow Poison. Ooh, and Soul Catcher gives a temp. This is so Shadow Demon getting huge buffs here. So you're getting disruption increase, so you're able to kind of use it as an effective save. You're getting better laning with Shadow Poison, and you're going to get spell amplification from Soul Catcher. Shadow Demon getting very significant buffs. You might actually start seeing Shadow Demon again. I don't think I've seen. I honestly, I don't think I've seen Shadow Demon once in like the last 6 months. I think a No Tail picked him once as a meme. That was it. Shadow Fiend. Rework the shard. Okay, fair enough. So the slows rescaled on Requiem of Souls. So a lot of buffs in the talents. Move speed taken out. Shadow Rays put in. Okay, so a lot of changes for Shadow Fiend here. I'm not a Shadow Fiend player, but this appears to be... This definitely is a buff overall because you're going to get the added move speed. You're getting the added spell amplification. You are getting the Shadow Rays damage, and you're getting the Requiem Fear and Slow per line. So that's a little better. So yeah, so you're seeing better scalability from Shadow Fiend. Shadow Shaman. So cooldown. So Mass Serpent Ward. So seeing increased cooldown earlier on, but less later on. Mana cost reduced. Hex cooldown being brought to level 10. This makes it so, okay, so this makes it at level 15 you can't chain lock down a enemy hero. That's all this is doing. But you're getting an additional shackle duration on the other end. Extra Serpent Ward attack range. And, oh, this is huge! Level 20, Hex applies break. Guys, that is massive. That is massive. Break is so rare in Dota. Break is one of the best like status effects in the game. And so in some circumstances, like against Bristleback, anybody with a passive effect. So Shadow Shaman can hex, which causes a break, and then can shackle. Like it is. Shadow Shaman is very disruptive. Very disruptive. They can really punish someone. Yeah, that level 20 break is huge, Liquid Auction. I agree. Arcane Curse now deals double damage and slow when the target is silenced. Interesting. So now there's a bit of a combo play here with Silencer and Arcane Curse. And an increase in Arcane Curse damage. So these are buffs. These are buffs overall. So you're getting Arcane, again, look, again, it's like Valve's trying to create like these builds. So now you have like this Arcane Curse build, right? That you can go with Silencer. Interesting. Skywrath Mage. Skywrath Mage, so you're getting an increased amount of damage on the on Arcane Bolt, which I think is important because it's always felt like a crappy skill, honestly. It does more damage up front, so he's going to be better in the laning stage. Okay, so the reduction to Mystic Flare makes it so that he's less likely to immediately kill an enemy with Mystic Flare, but he's going to be able to lane more effectively with the buffs to Arcane Bolt and Concussive Shot. Slardar. Less mobility. So this is a huge nerf to Sardar's mobility, but a major speed increase. So he's far faster early. So he's a little more survival. So when he uses Guardian Sprint as like a save or to close in on someone, it's much more significant. So I take it back. It's not really a nerf because you're getting so much additional speed. It's basically like it has more of an immediate impact. So it might actually be a nerf. It lets him kind of close in and get those stuns a little easier. So damage rescaled on Slithering Crush. So it does more late game, less early, which is fine. So Guardian Sprint cooldown. Slithering Crush attack and move slow, which is significant. And Slithering Crush damage. So again, what they've done is they've taken these like generic skills and these generic talents and they're applying them directly to individual skills, like Slithering Crush in this case. Dark Pack. So Slark's actually been in a weird spot where like win rate wise is a little low. So you're seeing a self-damage reduction on Dark Pack, which is great. Cooldown reduction on Shadow Dance. Oh, damn. These are buffs for Slark. Slark's back. Slark's back. If you guys were not excited about getting murdered by Slark before, you're going to get murdered by Slark even more now. Because Slark's back. These are significant. These are significant buffs. This is I mean, it's not significant. They're buffs. Still strong Dispel. He's good. Buff to Snapfire. Mana cost reduction on Snapfire cookies. Increased damage from Mortimer's Kisses and the actual cooldown rescaled. Buffs for Snapfire. No movement speed talent, which sucks. I really like movement speed, man. Love movement speed. Sniper has always sucked. Sniper's win rate has always been so bad. I know that we hate playing against Sniper, but his win rate is really awful. Okay, Shrapnel. Damage increase, fine. Allows him to clear waves, allows him to harass a little better. Take Aim does not provide True Strike anymore. Has an active that provides increased slow. Headshot chance on the active increased to 100%. Which makes him more survivable because you can use it and activate it and basically make sure he gets a headshot. Cooldown greatly reduced, as is the mana cost and is the duration. Take Aim, certainly buffed. Concussive Grenade, buffed again. They have buffed this so many times. And level 10. So basically they're really building around this Take Aim, basically increasing sniper survivability. When you take into consideration Hurricane Pike as well, that's a lot of stuff for Sniper, right? Spectre. Rework Shard. Dispersion causes Dispersion to fire a Spectral Dagger every 300 damage absorbed in the direction of the last source of damage. So it's almost like a... Interesting. That's very interesting. Can fire maximum of 1 dagger every 7 seconds. So it's very similar to like Counter Helix, except it shoots a dagger. Spectral Dagger is now dispellable. That's important. So reduction on Spectral Dagger cooldown because it's dispellable and increased damage. Understood. Spearbreaker. Less strength. Gets weaker over time. Mana cost increased straight up. Ooh, cast point to 0.1 and pierces spell immunity. So that's what the scepter does. No longer giving more movement speed. Increase greater bash. So you can farm a little better. That's good. And they rescaled the greater bash chances. No. Greater bash damage. They switched them. Yeah. So less chance, more damage. Got it. Storm Spirit. Damage increased. Ball Light. Oh, he gains mobility. So starting cost reduced. So Ball Lightning, he's going to be able to move a little more frequently here. Jimmins, next year to learn Slark. Maybe. Slark did see some love there. Actually, Jimmins, if I'm being honest with you, I know you're a mid player. Storm Spirit got some buffs here, it looks like. Static Remnant getting buffed here as well. Extra health here. So like they kind of reordered the talents, but made them a little stronger. But yeah, like this makes him a little more mobile. Certainly more mobile. Sven. Damage rescaled on his cleave, so he can farm a little less effectively early, but gets a little stronger in the late game. Cast point reduced on Stormhammer. Okay. Overall, probably, so slower farming, better overall, is what Sven is. These damn techies, not deleted from the game, unfortunately. Damage reduced on techies. So, they're less likely to kill you straight up. Still a lot of damage, though. Like, there's still damage there, but later in the game, you're getting less damage. Templar Assassin. So, yeah, the spill range is reduced. There was like a sniper assassin build going at one point. Okay. Alright, this makes sense. Channel time, yeah, okay. They needed to increase the channel time, because with the you're able to move way too effectively. Okay, yeah, this makes sense for TA. Terra Blade. So, less carry potential if he has less agility gain. Duration of Metamorphosis decreased, which sucks. But now, you're getting Demonic Zeal providing a basic Dispel, which is not bad. Overall, these are nerfs. But the Reflection duration increase at level 10 provides some interesting possibilities for building Reflection as opposed to traditionally getting movement speed and farming faster. And you get the Metamorphosis duration back here. Well, actually more than back. At level 25, he's basically always in Metamorphosis. Tidehunter getting the base mana. Gush armor reduction. So Gush was always taken at level 1 as a Tidehunter, just as a value point. And it looks as though that is no longer going to be completely necessary. Probably still fine. The Anchor Smash got nerfed a bit. Threshold timer increased. That's kind of unfortunate. So it looks like he's getting some nerfs here. You're getting a Gush slow. Again, all the movement speed's been gotten rid of. Everyone's movement speed talents have been removed. So yeah, so they increased his tank ability by giving him a talent at 10, which gives him a decrease in the Kraken Shell. Damage threshold, which would be 350, which is not bad. 200 damage replaced with 50% shots. Yeah, okay. Extra stun duration on Ravage. Okay, so he was reworked. So basically, he's a little tankier. He disrupts the enemy a little less, and he can stun for a little longer in the ultra late game. Which kind of sucks. Everyone has BKB anyway. I think Slark's pretty interesting. 100% Zaza. Timbersaw. Okay. Debuff duration higher, damage lower on Whirling Death makes sense. Damage reduced on Timber Chain. Okay, these are just very minor. Chakram Slow is pretty legit though. Those are minor. Okay, what do they do to this damn laser on Tinker? 100% of its damage. It splashes 100% of its damage in a 250 AoE. No way. But only the main target gets blinded. But you're getting a shrink range cast reduction. And, okay. Alright. Defensive Matrix is now a basic skill. These are huge changes to Tinker. These are very significant changes. That is a lot. Is support Tinker a thing now? Because you're going to get some damage reduction and status resistance. I would love to see Zeke Exotics' take on this. This looks like a support tinker play. New rearm sub ability. You can teleport to another building. And March of the Machines is now a shard ability. So they got rid of March of the Machines. So you have to buy the shard in order to get it. So this functionally changes the way Tinker's played, because now March of the Machines, you have to invest. You can't get it until 20 minutes. You have to spend 1,400 gold on it. And what the hell are you going to do until then? So is this a Tinker support play where basically Tinker's in position 4, and then once you hit 20 minutes, then you can start like ratting? Is that basically what they did here? Kind of looks like it. Okay, so splash damage increase on tree throw and grow. Speed penalty reduced. Okay. All right. So tiny minor buffs. Oh, one of the rare instances we're seeing movement speed increase on tree and protector. Nature's Grasp reduced. Aw, man, less healing. Sad. No, what am I talking? That's not. I'm so tired. Nature's Grasp. That's the line of vines. So we're getting a reduction in its length, which probably weakens his laning pretty significantly. However, at level 10, we're getting a significant amount of living armor heal. That's pretty legit. And you're getting leech speed slow. Okay, so I think that's better to get the living armor earlier, which helps like your carries kind of survive longer. Troll Warlord, who has an abysmal win rate. Increased Whirling Axe's damage. Cooldown reduction on Battle Trance, which can be relatively countered, so that's not a big deal. And more Berserker's Rage armor and movement speed. That's actually pretty huge. So Berserker's Rage getting buffed. Yeah, I'm still patch reviewing. I barely have a voice left. We're almost done, though. We're almost at the end. Tusk. Shard has been reworked. Enemies within 200 radius to the center of the area should suffer a 40% slow. No way. And the length of the shard increased by 300. That is huge for Tusk. So if you get hit by those ice shards, you are dead. Very good. Snowball bonus damage increased. Tag team damage. Okay. So I like these changes for Tusk. Good. Oh, my boy Underlord, what'd you do? No, movement speed reduced. He's already so slow. He's so slow. Why would you reduce his movement speed again? You know why? It's because his damn win rate's always at like 55%. They want like that. Oh, damn it. Mana cost increased on Firestorm. It's not a significant increase. It's enough though. That hurts. So basically, that means that you have to build a Soul Ring, or you buy a bottle. Fiends Gate reworked Scepter, so the Scepter's been changed. Grants a new ability, Fiends Gate, cast within 4,000 range to create a portal next to Underlord and a portal at a target location. Allies can click on either portal to teleport to one or the other after a 2-second channel. Portals are indestructible, last 20 seconds, and can only be cast in locations where wards can be placed. Well, it looks like there's already another patch coming. There's probably a hotfix. They definitely bugged something. Undying's... Okay, so I didn't even finish reading. Interesting rework there. So, by the way, these are nerfs to Underlord straight up. Let's see what they did to his talents. Okay, so increased Firestorm burn damage. I like that. I never liked the attack speed talent. Okay, they changed the other one. They changed the other one from health regen to atrophy damage reduction, which is good. So if you're against a very tanky lineup, you can go the fire burn damage. Or if you're against a very DPS-centric lineup, you can go the atrophy aura. Good. And that's buff because it always sucked. Okay, cool. Cool. So, I mean, I'll have to play. Underlord's probably still fine, really. That's only 5 movement speed. Alex, calm down. Mana cost reductions here. Movement speed increase for Flesh Golem. Rework the Shard. 1 zombie on each attack. So now he... Oh! So he turns into a zombie. He hits people. And more zombies come. Not bad. I like the extra decay damage too. Undying might be interesting again. Ursa. So yeah, there's been an update. Ursa. Another update on top of the update. Base strength increased, which increases his laning and damage, of course. And cool, so Earthshock cooldown increased. So a lot of people were building Earthshock level 1. And so so it looks like they've kind of adjusted that a little bit. So they've nerfed Earthshock for Ursa and given him a better laning slightly. So yeah, so Ursa's build has changed. Venge. Nether Swap now deals 50 damage. Okay. Nether Swap now causes vengeful spirits and allies she swaps to take. Ooh. So, okay, this is really interesting. So basically, Nether Swap now does damage when you're ganking somebody. You're ganking someone, you swap them, you're doing the damage. But when you swap someone, okay, the person who was swapped now gets 50% less damage for 3 seconds, and Venge gets 50% less damage. So that either allows you to like swap in someone to initiate a fight, which is weird, but possible, or swap someone out and still get away and save yourself. Interesting. Venomancer. Reduction on agility, sad face. Damage rescaled on Poison Nova. So it does less initial damage, but it does percentage-based max health and damage. So this means, so Venomancer is going to scale better against tankier heroes. It probably is a net increase in damage overall as it goes into the late game. It's a better scaling ability now in the late game. And Scepter damage has been increased. Yeah, so these percentages are significant. I don't know if that Scepter seems worth it. Viper. Mana cost decrease? Get out of here. That skill's so annoying. But Nether Toxins, yeah, so this prevents Viper from farming super fast. So it slows down Viper's farm, but makes him more of a lane nuisance. Oh, but they get the Nether Toxin back. So this is actually pretty good, because at level 15, getting the additional attack range was super annoying. So now, yeah, so this makes sense. So Viper's going to be less irritating, perhaps. Visage. Okay. Buffs. Okay, that's a nerf. And you're getting, okay, so some familiars, cooldown reduction. So the familiars themselves are going to be a little easier to use because the turn rate's going to be a little snappier. Reduce cooldown and increased armor. Okay, so familiars are going to be less feedable. Void Spirit. You have Aether Remnant. Mana cost reduced, pull increase. So these are buffs to Void Spirit, which is fantastic. I love to see that. Astral Step debuff increased. Okay. Wow. Void Spirit getting significant buffs here. And Aether Remnant damage being increased. So now that's like a little more of a skill shot. Nice. I like this. I like this. Pull, increased pull duration, more Astral Step damage. Okay. Void Spirit getting buffs. Warlock. 1 talent change. That's all you want to do to Warlock? 1 talent change? Weaver. Okay. So they move much faster, which basically the swarm makes it harder to dodge. All right. I'm getting tired. All the words are starting to blur together. Why'd you have to release the patch so late, Valve? All right, so overall, like it increased. So the swarm's getting significantly buffed here. Some changes towards Germinate as well, which is really good at level 20. So instead of just taking straight up additional attack damage, so this is going to have an additional Germinate attack damage. So that's good. And Swarm attack armor. Got it. Is this a new shard for Wind Ranger? Gale Force. Now grants Gale Force vector targeted, so like Pango. Summons a strong wind that pushes all enemies within 1000 AoE, 250 units per second, and target duration for 3 seconds. They can still move, attack, and cast spells, and it does not interrupt channeling. Interesting. Attack range removed and replaced with Wind Run and Undispellable. And if you get a kill with Focus Fire, it's a cooldown reduction. Cool. Wyvern. Agility reduction. Oh, the nerf Arctic Burn. Oh, Winter Wyvern nerfed. Finally. Nerfs all around on Winter Wyvern. She was way too strong. Yeah, Chica, it seems pretty decent. Rest in peace, Winter Wyvern. Rest in peace. Witch Doctor. I think this really hurts Winter Wyvern. This is a massacre. They didn't affect... The Winter's Curse cast range is more significant than you'd think, because that means she has to get way closer to the fight, and it's much easier to initiate on her, right? It's much easier to kill Winter Wyvern because she has to get closer to initiate Winter's Curse. These are huge nerfs. Wow, Paralyzing the damage almost completely destroyed, but increases on damage with each bounce. So, Witch Doctor's skill ceiling has been increased. If you can modify the bounces to make sure that you can get the most out of them, you're going to get more damage. Look at this. That's great. So, get rid of a damage talent on a support and give them voodoo mana per second. So, more effective healing through less mana usage. Maledict Radiant, like these are all good changes. These are good changes for Witch Doctor. I like those changes. Cooldown increased on Reincarnation. This probably had to happen. 40 seconds at level 3 was too much. This is a huge nerf to Wraith King, because basically at 40 seconds with Reincarnation, you can just dive into fights like crazy. So you get punished a little faster. Finally, Zeus! The last one! We're almost there! Zeus! Mana cost reduced on Lightning Bolt. So that allows, and the vision duration increased. So that is that's a support Zeus play there. Static Field. Shard, active mana cost reduced. Okay. Shard now gives 900 obstructed vision around Zeus for 3 seconds. That's actually pretty cool. Static Field's actually a pretty good ability there. Nimbus. Duration reduced. Interval increased. Bounty increased. So Nimbus got nerfed. Had to happen. It was too good. And level 25 talent. AoE Lightning Bolt. Damn, son. That's a good skill. That's a good skill. Guys, guess what? We got to the end. We actually got to the end. That is fantastic. I'm so happy we got to the end there, because that was a lot of patch notes. I can barely speak. This video is 2 hours long. 2 hours long. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're as excited as I am to dive into the new Dota patch. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So keep an eye out for the next videos coming out. And we will see you in the next video for Dota 2. I cannot believe that we actually just spoke for 2 hours, guys. 2 hours. I like all the buffs, Wade. See you guys soon.